This is going to be a full video review and job details report for both Nacodoches Auto Glass and Renfro Glass and State Inspection in Nacodoches, Texas. They're two of the only few companies that do auto glass in Nacodoches, and I figured I'd go local with a local company this time instead of going with Safelite like I normally would do. But Nacodoches Auto Glass apparently subcontracted out the job to Renfro Auto Glass. I'll get into that in a minute. But on the phone with Nacodoches Auto Glass, when I was giving her my year, make, model, and the kind of windshield I needed, I specifically said I wanted Carlite glass, which is the OEM Ford glass, with top tint, and I requested no Super Duty logo. And she double verified with me. She said, so you want it without the top tint? I said, no, I want with top tint. Okay. When I get there the next day, I double verified with her. I said, so you got my Carlite top tint glass, no Super Duty, right? And she said, yes, we got the glass you want, but you're gonna have to go over to Renfro. They're gonna do the job over there. I was like, whatever, as long as I get the windshield I wanted and they do a good job, I'm fine with that. I get to Renfro and I said, so you got my Carlite glass top tint, no Super Duty, right? And she said, no, Carlite does not make a windshield without Super Duty on it. You know, Ford wants to let everyone know that it's their windshield. Okay, I'm fine with that. We even walked over to the glass and I looked at it and it was sitting in the shade. That top tint is really hard to see even through the windshield, let alone sitting in the shade. So I just assumed she was right and that it had the top tint. Okay. So I go to pick it up at the end of the day on Friday, and you know, I'm walking up to the truck, and the first thing I notice is the screw cover for the grab handle is missing. I immediately go in and ask them about that, and then I come back out to the truck and I'm looking all over for it, and I see, you know, broken glass everywhere. I had vacuumed the carpet before I gave it to them, and there's broken glass everywhere. Not a big deal. There are silicone or urethane marks on this grab handle and right there. That should have been cleaned. But the big major thing here is that I did not get top tint, okay? That's my biggest gripe with this whole thing. But then I get home and I start looking outside, and I was just completely flabbergasted here. I start seeing stuff like this: broken plastic here, cracks there, big old crack there, missing a screw there. Things all messed up from the outside. It's not sitting flush right there. And of course, oh yeah, and I was trying to use, it was raining on the way home, so I tried to use my windshield wipers with the washer fluid, and guess what? The washer fluid wasn't coming out, and that would be because they did not reconnect it there. Okay, so I see that, I'm like, okay, no big deal, I can reconnect that. But I am a diesel mechanic, okay? I work on this specific 6-liter truck all the time, and these 3 push pin holders for the wire loom diverter that keeps the wire loom away from the turbo are a common point of weakness and failure on the 6-liter truck. Okay, we get these trucks in all the time where this is either sitting loose or it's got push pins in that are not holding it and it's just hanging down. Okay, so it's very common to see little cracks and even little pieces of plastic missing around these 3 push pin holders right there. In fact, I have mine zip tied because zip ties hold these a lot better. And zip ties, you can clip, and this thing just pulls right off. That cowl would have come off very quickly without any damage at all. Instead, they did not clip the zip ties, and they apparently just kind of pulled and grabbed it out of there, breaking all this plastic. You can see fresh metal in the places where they just pulled and grabbed it out. They did not bother cutting these. They did not bother pulling that push pin. The only 2 push pins they pulled was one right there and one right there. Guess what? Those push pins are missing. They did not put them back, just like they didn't put that one screw back. Do you know how much these cost? These cost less than a penny. We ordered them by the 1,000 on the internet, and They didn't even bother to put them back there, and they're missing a screw. Okay, but what is that? These are pieces that were apparently attached back behind here. This part is sitting up above the wire loom diverter. That should have been down below it. Had they done this right, they could have gone clip, clip, clip. This would have come right out. Push pin, the whole thing would have come out very easily, and you wouldn't have ended up with cracks all over the place. The whole thing is sitting loose. It's not attached. It's broken. It's not sitting flush here. It's messed up. It's messed up, and they did not take it apart right, and they did not put it back together right. Had I known they were unable to use a push pin holder and some wire clippers to do a semblance of a good job, I would have brought the truck to them with no windshield wipers on it and the cowl removed. Because, you know, at this point, even if they offer to put me a brand new cowl, brand new Ford cowl, put me the right Carlite top tinted windshield on there, if they can't even put a push pin back or take one out, I'm not sure I trust them. I'm inclined to go back with Safelite because I've never had a problem with Safelite. You know, it's the little details that really make a business, and all of the little details on this job are messed up. You know, the windshield wipers are supposed to sit down a little lower. I can do that. That's no big deal. All this stuff, you know, one thing by itself, one thing I would have overlooked. Even the top tint, I would have been like, if they had done everything right and I just didn't get my top tint, I would have been like, well, you know, I guess I can live with that. But it just all adds up. And how much is my time worth? How much is my stress worth? I've been talking to installers on the internet, asking about whether they remove A-pillars or grab handles, asking about the model numbers. I've got a list of model numbers for Carlite glass on these windshields. My first video that I shot when I first got home and saw all that stuff under the hood, I got kind of upset and started cussing. That first video has been seen hundreds of times, and you know, it's all that stuff adds up, is what I'm saying. The job on many different levels was not a quality job. It was subcontracted. It's the wrong glass. The cowl needs to be replaced. Hell, even if I had to replace the whole cowl myself, if I had gotten the right top tinted glass, I can replace that cowl myself. I get wholesale pricing from Ford. It's just all that little stuff adds up, and it's really hard to have faith or confidence in a company. Two companies, when they're working in cahoots, it's really hard to have faith and you know, want them to even fix what they did wrong. So that's my review of Nacodoches Auto Glass and Renfro Glass and State Inspection. This is also evidentiary for my insurance company. I don't know how they want to handle it. My biggest concern is getting the right glass and probably a new cowl. We'll see what happens.